This will all end in tears, I just know it.
Welcome to Sinema Scrutiny!
I'm Heidi. I'm Sarah.
I'm Marissa. I'm Mel. And I'm Sam. And we're 42! Today we will be reviewing 2005's The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, directed by Garth Jennings.
Overview.
This movie begins in a very iconic way with the song entitled So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. If you haven't listened to it, stop this video right now and go listen to it. It is that good.
It's the greatest thing you'll ever hear in your life.
Mm-hmm. It's sung by a choir of dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
A choral aquatic choir? I don't know.
A choral aquatic choir.
Try saying that
5 times fast.
They're dolphins. That's what they are.
And they dance. It's beautiful.
It's incredible.
Beautiful.
It's one of, if not the best opening numbers in cinematic history, and it's amazing.
It's very hilarious and like nothing I've ever seen before.
It has like all the genres combined as well.
Yeah.
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 The world's about to be destroyed.
If I had just...
There was like a little child that's really...
Little child dolphin?
Yeah. Not like a child, but like...
A child singer.
Yes.
Or
like
what
a young dolphin singer.
It's gotta be in the credits somewhere. Young child dolphin singer.
No. Just a young dolphin singer.
Yeah.
Specifically, who shines. Every time the Vogons come in scene, they have a specific music thing with them. Yeah, and it's
Vogon
great.
theme.
It's great because like every time there's like a mass of them and they're marching, you have the boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like it's perfect because at the end when you start like you hear the music before you see the Vogons, and so it's like this is what's coming, ha ha ha.
I also love the music in the scene where it keeps backing up. It's just
Yes.
Like a minute and it's like
then the earth explodes. If you
there's-
haven't watched this
and there's-
movie, you're probably so lost right now.
And there's a little, it doesn't explode, it's a whoosh. Just like the one, like when the one time when the spaceship, this is really off track. But the one time when the spaceship comes as like a flower,
Yes,
and all the petals go away, whoosh.
yeah. And they're like falling off their eyelids and stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot of fun sound effects in the movie. The Foley artist had a good time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Whoever they were.
Oh,
Shout
like
out
when
Foley
the whale
artist.
explodes. When the whale hits the ground and it explodes. Like there's a sound effect for that.
I'm
It's like-
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure the person who played the sighing doors also had a good time.
Yeah.
I want to know who that is.
When the pan-dimensional beings die, there's the whoa.
Oh yeah.
Bless you.
Whenever you go over a bridge in a car, I always say it's the male angels because it's like,
Oh, yes.
sounds like that.
Except,
So niche.
yeah.
Comment down below if you know what I'm talking
Comment
about.
down below if you've gone over a bridge.
In a car and you hear the male angels singing. It could be female angels too, because sometimes it's like, oh. The cast was stacked like a Shaggy and Scooby-Doo sandwich.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely stacked.
A double, triple-decker sardine and marshmallow fudge sandwich.
That was
You
such
got-
a good analogy.
Martin Freeman,
Love that analogy.
Zoe Deschanel, Alan Rickman, Sam Rockwell.
I forget what his name was, but the guy that played Tim's father in About Time.
Bill Nighy.
Swarty barked for us.
I love him. He's from About Time. Bill Nighy. So there's a lot of really cool characters in there.
Whoever plays Ford,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
his
don't know
name.
who that is, but he's really funny.
Even
He's
the
great.
unknown, even the unknown, unfamous people do a really good
Yeah.
job, and you want to watch them too.
Exactly.
Ford is probably one of my favorite people to watch, just because his character is so fun.
He's
Well,
so
he is-
animated.
It's like,
Yeah.
he literally comes in, his very first, it's a shopping cart full of beer.
yeah. And he's like riding
Well,
on it.
he is like
I
an
bring-
alien. He's supposed to be
Tidings
an
of
alien.
Peanuts and beer.
Yeah, the way that he plays it definitely shows, like, don't you think it was weird I was trying to shake hands with the car?
Yeah. We love Martin Freeman because Sherlock.
Yes! Oh my gosh, yes.
Like he
And
just
also, like, Hobbit.
he does such a good job of being cowardly because in every other thing that he plays, he's not cowardly.
Yeah.
Like at all. I think the
Range.
character is just
Yeah, I was
fun.
gonna say. An actor that has range.
Right? And Zoe Deschanel is kind of just herself. she plays kind of the same character in everything she's in, except Elf, she's more cynical than everything else. But like
And she has
New
blonde
Girl-
hair.
Yeah.
This is true.
New Girl and this movie and
I don't think I
Whatever
think
other
she's
movie.
more, like, in New Girl, like, she's,
more flitty.
yeah, like, it's turned
Yes.
up a notch in New Girl compared to Hitchhikers, which is kind of interesting because Hitchhikers is
Just
kind of
so-
wild.
I just like Zoe
random.
Deschanel. She's a very good actor.
Yes.
Alan Rickman equals Severus Snape equals Harry Potter. Potter docs.
Just as a note, if you don't know, Alan Rickman voices Marvin, the clinically depressed robot.
He's hilarious.
And he was created in this company or whatever called
GPP, which
Yes.
is
Genuine.
genuine people personality.
Genuine people personality.
He has like the most fun lines. How he voices it, he doesn't care, and he like just automatically believes that nobody else cares either. But he's still gonna say what he wants to say.
Exactly. Yeah, like he sounds sad and you want to be sad for him, but at the same time you're like, the way he delivers the line, you want to laugh at the same time.
With costumes, in the movie, Zaphod becomes president because the people thought they were voting for the universally worst dressed sentient being in the universe.
Which makes sense because his costume is whack.
I think his costume style is pretty fun, actually. Because he's got
something.
like the most random coat and like all this other stuff that really doesn't go together, but then the coat is long enough
And
to
the boots.
bring it together. Yeah.
His
In the
hair.
beginning, he's wearing like the really short, like star or whatever shorts.
Gold, yeah, star and gold.
The towel around his head and the super short shorts. It's like, who is this guy?
Because he doesn't even have long enough hair for like a turban. Like that. Like what?
The part where Zoe Deschanel grabs the jumpsuit out of the closet reminds me in Star Wars when Lando shows them all of his capes in Solo because it's in space and fashion.
And then not Martin. Well, yes. His name is Martin.
I don't know who
but
Martin is.
Arthur is in his robe and pajamas the entire time. Yeah.
And they get dirty.
Ford, he does change his clothes. Like, so,
does?
well, when they're watching the Magrathea film, he has his coat off and it's like a purple vest. And it's kind of cool, actually.
Oh yeah, and he has that like funny hat that covers his ears,
Yes.
and
he does.
his ring.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's the
Well,
only
it's a
time you
hitchhiker.
see the hitchhiker ring.
The Ring of the Schwartz. Watch Spaceballs in 2 minutes, please. I'm begging you. It's probably the funniest thing we'll ever do.
And all the other ones.
And the others. And every other video we've ever made. Every
not
video
the
on this
Elvis
channel.
video.
I love Martin Freeman and Zoe Deschanel's chemistry. It's kind of random to put them together as a couple in my brain, but when they're on screen together, it makes sense. Like, they kind of had like a weird energy, but it was an energy that worked, and I really liked it.
Their characters are kind of the opposites. And so that's probably what makes it work, honestly,
Yeah.
if you look at it from that standpoint. Like, because he's all about keeping it safe and secure, and then she's like, I don't care.
I
me
want to
go.
go to Madagascar.
Yeah.
Opposites attract.
It's a thing.
The age-old trope. We love it.
But it works. Fun fact section. It's all about the Vogons and how they are actually puppets. Not like CGI'd in or whatever, which is pretty cool. And probably why they look really, really not fun.
And disgusting.
They're quite ugly.
and sweaty.
Jim Henson, like his company, is in the credits for the Vogons specifically, and I think that's very fun. And I wouldn't have thought that while watching it, and then we looked at the credits and I was like, I know him.
I know him.
Not personally,
Well, you wish you knew
which
him.
is sad, but
And if you're uncultured and don't know who Jim Henson is,
Then comment down below.
he founded the Muppets.
and we love the Muppets here. Hashtag Muppets Forever.
Comment that below.
Can we start a hashtag Muppets Forever chain in the comments?
Of Hitchhiker's
Comment down below.
review. When they're at the scene with Deep Thought, and it's been 7.5 million years or something. Everybody is gathered around to find the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And the answer, which, if you look it up in Google, happens to be 42. When they say that, the movie, I believe, is 42 minutes in at that point, which is kind of cool.
Wikipedia says so, guys.
Yeah.
It's so accurate. Don't even question.
And we had an English teacher who we loved. He would answer with that as well. Like, oh, I have a question, and he would say 42. And I never knew what he was referring to until, like, I watched the movie. Also, there is a book. Douglas Adams is the person who, like, kind of created the whole Hitchhiker's universe. There's, like, a show, and there's multiple other books. There's actually, like, 5 books that he's written, and the first one being Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The movie, it's at the end when it says for Douglas, that's the author, ha ha ha. And then
brain.
in the book, Ford is a ginger. I haven't read the whole book, so I only know like the beginning. I wanted to read the whole book for this, but that obviously did not happen.
I'm surprised that you didn't just read the end. That's shocking to me.
I only do that with movies. I'm sorry.
Okay, context. Marissa here has like a big long list. It's probably gotten shorter by now, but of movies that she's only seen the endings of.
I
And
could
it's
read them out to you if I want.
hilarious. So every time we go to watch a movie or something, we're like, oh, Marissa's probably already seen the end of this.
There's been a couple movies where I get to the end and I realize that I've seen it before.
Just like, oh yeah.
One being like Pirates of the Caribbean. I got all the way, it was like the last 5 minutes when like Captain Jack Sparrow is being hanged. And I'm like, oh, I've seen this before.
I know this part.
And that's literally like less than 5 minutes from the end. And it's not really my fault. I would go out and hang out with you guys, and then I'd come home and they'd be watching a movie, and just the timing. Okay, I watched Captain America: The First Avenger from the scene where Steve Rogers storms into the last big Hydra place, and then like he goes to get beat up. I watched that at least 10 times before seeing any other part of the movie. Like from that point on. Can I take you through my first experience of watching this?
Yes, you may.
It was absolutely lovely. Okay, if you've never
It was
seen...
absolutely lovely.
I did.
Absolutely.
So, if you haven't seen the movie and you like get convinced to go and watch it because of this, first of all, that's
We haven't really
awesome.
talked about the movie much, but more power
Which
to
is
you.
why it's awesome. You gotta go into it just expecting to enjoy it.
Turn your brain off, and
Yeah.
you'll enjoy it more than you thought you would.
Yeah, because it was at the end of the day, it was night out already, and I was on the tired side, and I was with my whole family, and we put it in, and some people like in the family had seen it before. I was really excited because like my family had talked about it before and mentioned some scenes and all. I was just really looking forward to being able to kind of like relax and turn my brain off and watch something enjoyable, and it was the funniest thing ever, to the point where at the end my dad was like, wow, you got a lot more jokes than even I did when I first watched it.
I remember the first time Marissa had me over to her house, and
did.
we went on a walk, and we were kind of tired, and she was like, well, let's watch it. And she prefaced me, she gave me that disclaimer, and she was like, just turn it off, don't think about it, just enjoy it. And I did, and it was really funny, and we laughed our faces off.
I did not do that when I first watched it. Because when I watch movies, typically I'm like trying to figure it out the whole time, just so I can be like, haha, I called it. You can't do that with the movie. We were at a sleepover for Marissa's birthday, and she introduced it to us, and Mel and Sarah were there. Shout
They
out Mel
were-
and Sarah.
But they weren't really like invested in the movie at all.
No.
It was like, come
I
on.
was dying laughing because I had no idea what was going on. Trying to figure it out. failing and just what is happening the whole time, and I just could not understand it. Then Marissa came over to my house and she like actually was explaining it the whole time we were watching it, and I was like, that makes so much more sense.
For example, when they say if you want to survive in this universe, you gotta know where your towel is. That's because in the book, it's written that if you have your towel, then like the aliens or anybody else assume that you have like your toothbrush too, and then like your brush and like a set of like clothes and all this other stuff. So then they assume that you're prepared for anything, and so then that makes them really, really scared of you.
Honestly, the fact that they don't explain it in the movie almost makes it funnier, because you're like, what does that, what do you mean?
Oh, he has a towel.
What do you mean?
And there's an end credits that kind of goes off with the towel thing as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to find out what I mean by that, then watch the movie.
Favorite scenes.
Favorite scenes?
Marissa says
The whole movie.
Practically the whole movie. Okay, it starts out with a bang. The scene with the dolphins at the very beginning, iconic. And then the way that it all comes back around at the end with the dolphins again. It's just perfect.
Circle moment.
Yes. The scene where they're at the pub and the guy's like, they start believing that the world is about to end because Ford's so sad on it.
Yeah.
He's like, should we put paper bags over our heads or something? It's like, if you want, will it help? Not at all. If you catch it, there's a newspaper that says the dolphins have vanished. And I love the scene where there's this spaceship and it's zooming out and it keeps zooming out until you see more spaceships. I love it. And it just keeps going and going and going. It's beautiful. It's so great. And then the scene where they're getting thrown off the ship and they don't they just drop.
There's barely a noise, and they're just boom. They're gone.
Because you think they're gonna get sucked out like that way, and then they
If they had been standing in any other spot, they would have been fine.
Yeah. That's a knee slapper right there.
There's the sneeze scene.
I love the sneeze scene.
Bless you. My sister did that to me once. We were in the store. We were in Aldi's, and I sneezed, and she came up to me. Bless you.
That is
It cracked me up so much. So
Are you crying?
That's from laughing. I cry very easily when I'm laughing a lot.
Like when you get sad, like what do you do instead of crying? Or do you
Smile.
still cry? I'm so sad, guys.
I'm the opposite of Marvin.
Shout out Warwick Davis.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite parts in the movie itself is when the world is about to end and they're in the pub and there's a lady sitting right behind them,
forgot.
and she's just staring at them the
whole time.
and she's like,
And she's like watching
She,
and
like,
like
doesn't
looking at
blink
his
either.
phone,
it's
and
the best.
I want to know if that was like her job to like stare daggers at them, or if it was just her being an extra, like, I'm so bored I'm just gonna look directly at the action.
It
because
was really funny.
Oh man.
that's just hilarious.
They get to the planet and they get slapped over and over and over again. It is hilarious. Shout out to my aunt. That is her favorite scene.
I love it.
Which aunt?
Corlissa. I say that like it's obvious, but I do have a couple aunts. This is really random, but the first name that gets shown on the credits is the person who voices the whale. Because it's like in alphabetical order or something. And so it's just like, it's so random.
I love that so much.
But
Honestly,
somehow I know
credit where credit is due. He belongs up there. Okay.
Yes, and the bowl of petunias.
The factory scene with the elevator reminds me of Willy Wonka. Because it goes like everywhere, up, down, left, right, all over the place. And then they're like, and Arthur's like, ah!
Yeah. When they're at Arthur Dent's house and the Vogons are there and they just like keep firing. Like that whole little
they
sequence.
say, we're here to protect you, and then they shoot him.
Yeah, it's perfect. That whole sequence is great because like the Vogons are trying to go like around to get to them, and so then Ford like attacks them
With the towel.
Yeah, and then he shuts the gate on them.
Oh no, a towel.
He closed the gate. We have to go the other way around.
I love that Marvin saves the day with his depression because he has
What's the point?
the gun, and then all of the Vogons just fall down.
The
and
point
it's
of view gun.
hilarious.
I love the point of view gun.
That's a
I need the
fantastic
point of view gun.
invention.
It
I
conveniently
agree.
does precisely what it is named for.
As a woman, I feel like that would be very helpful because, like, especially when talking to men, because they just don't understand. Not
And
talking about any specific man.
I really
all.
just need them, being men, to understand, like, because you try to tell them what you're thinking of, and you're like, I just wish that you could read my mind, because putting it into words is hard. And
It is hard.
You just need them to know how you feel about a certain thing.
Completely understand.
There's only a couple parts in the movie that it gets a little slowed down, but overall, like, it's just one funny thing after another, and I love it. Also, when Sarah half watched it,
That's so like
Bill Nighy's character, Slarty Bartfrost,
yeah.
I told you it wasn't important.
he's like, "Hi, Frank." That's Frank. That was like Sarah's favorite part. The only thing that she remembered. Eddie the computer, with his happy disposition the entire time. He's like, I'm pleased as punch to inform you that the entire Vogon fleet is behind you.
It's like in Hamilton when King George is like,
Oh.
I will kill your friends
Yes.
and family.
To remind you of my love.
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, it's perfect.
Shout out Lin-Manuel Miranda, aka my father.
Kevin Morgan.
Favorite quotes.
Quote. In the beginning, the universe was created, which made a lot of people very angry and is widely considered as a bad move. Curiously enough, the only thing that went through the Petunia's mind as it fell was,
Oh no, not again.
If you want to survive out here, you gotta know where your towel is.
I trust them to the ends of the earth.
how far away is that?
About 12 minutes away.
Left, right. Mr. President, we are here for your protection. Fire!
I think that door just sighed.
Cheeky mouse.
I'm a GPP prototype. You can tell, can't you?
We don't want to be happy. We want to be famous. Take his brain!
We can talk about normality till the cows come home. What is normal? What is home? What are cows?
Ford, I think I'm a sofa.
I know how you feel. She's at the Grey Building, right?
All the buildings are gray.
I can fold my eyelids inside out if you'd like.
I've been talking to the computer. Yeah, and it hates me.
I just want to be loved.
Would you like a hug?
No.
Bless you.
That's 1 hour for lunch. I think I'll have soup today. Marvin, you saved our lives. I know. Wretched, isn't it?
Final thoughts.
To watch The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you need to turn your brain off. And don't try to figure it out or think about it for too long. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the stupidity, because that's what this movie is for. I laugh every time I watch it. I love it. I give it 3 out of 5 shopping carts.
Yes. I give this movie 41 out of 42 fish. Because I absolutely, unabashedly love this movie. I am finding that I have to be in like the right mood to watch it. It's not like for whenever movie, or like not really like a play behind the scenes type movie. It's not considered my nostalgia because I didn't grow up with it. Like the things that I grew up with, they're definitely gonna always have like the 100%. That's just my bias. I love it. It's great. I love all of the different characters, but it's not a movie that I can just watch whenever. So that is why.
I had a very hard time understanding this movie when I first watched it. But after watching it again and having my little shoulder angel explaining the entire thing the whole time, I realized how hilarious it actually is, and I actually like caught the plot points, which is crazy. I really enjoy the comedic aspects and the sci-fi elements, because gotta love a good sci-fi every now and again, especially one that's not completely serious. And it may take a few tries, but eventually, once you understand it, this movie is pretty good. I give this movie 4 out of 5 depressed robots. We stand Marvin.
Wretched, isn't it?
Thank you for watching. Until next time.
Thanks for all the fish.
And God bless.
Roll credits!